Hey guys, today I'm going to be giving some shoutouts and then I'm going to walk you through my portfolio. First shoutout goes to Hope at the Hope Project. Her Instagram and her YouTube are going to be in the description below. She really went to town with this. I love how vibrant this piece is, and I love that you incorporated Rick and Morty into it because it's one of my favorite shows. Next up is Gráinne, who has a very unique style, and she incorporated it beautifully into this rendition of the Starry Night. I love how individual your pieces are. I don't think I have a style, so I appreciate artists that have a very distinct style. And last but not least, my mom. My mom did this challenge. I was so excited when she said that she was going to do it. She did a beautiful job in this wine glass. Thank you so much for doing it, Mom. I'm really glad that you're embracing your artsy side. I had a lot of fun talking with you as you were painting this. I'm going to have Hope and Gráinne's links in the description box below, so be sure to check their channels out and their Instagram. All right, on with the show, my portfolio. This sunset I painted about 3 years ago. I kind of wanted to go for a more impressionistic look, and I think I achieved it to some extent. I want to revisit this theme and do a couple of things differently. This was done on paper. I want to do it on canvas and really blow it up. Next up, we have Gotham City. I painted this on a black canvas using only flat brushes and brights. I was experimenting with black canvases for the first time, and I did some splatters for the stars on the top. This one was the first time I copied something from a photo. If you look at the detail, you can see that I still wasn't getting the grasp of blending with acrylic yet. I was using really cheap paint, and I really didn't know what I was doing, but it was a good effort, so it's worth mentioning here. Next up, we go to the beach. I painted this using only red, yellow, and brown. I would do this one differently too. I think I did not do enough layers. I could now, knowing what I know now, I would definitely add more layers to give a little more detail, but I'm happy with it. I feel like this is my own personal Pollock. I was experimenting with splatters and sponging, and as you can see, I used a lot of really, really bright colors. This was the first time that I did something abstract, and I had a lot of fun with it. I don't do a lot of abstract work, but whenever I feel stressed and I feel overwhelmed, I'll just do something like this. It's really a release. I feel really good afterwards. Flowers in a vase. I really enjoyed painting this one. I have a little issue with the background now that I look at it after a few years. I painted this about 2 years ago. I feel like I could have spent a little more time blending the background. I feel like if I did this now, I would push more towards realism and really, really blend the background. This is Pines at Sunset, again using sponges and angle brushes. And this was the first time I worked on an 18 by 24, which was big at the moment. That's the biggest I'd ever worked at the moment. This one's called The Bare Necessities. I did this one on a canvas board, and I was experimenting with a little more realism, but if you see my edges and my lines, I kind of made it look a little bit cartoony, but I liked that style. So then I explored it again in another still life. This was done probably in the same week than the last one, and it's a style that I kind of abandoned, but I kind of want to go back to it now that I look at it. This one's one of my favorites. It's hanging in my living room right now. I really went to town with the grayscale before colorizing it. This is the first time that I really got a hang of separating value and color into two different stages. Flowers in a Vase number 2. Again, I did a grisaille or grayscale underpainting, and then I glazed color over it. I wasn't really mixing my colors at this point in my art journey, So all the colors that you've seen so far are probably straight out of the tube or just very lightly mixed with white or black. This piece is the transition between everything before and everything after. After this piece, I was convinced that I could do realism. So ever since then, I've been studying and trying to improve my technique and add tools to my toolbox. And then I decided to paint a barn owl. If you notice the background, it's in a similar style than the background of the light bulb. I would do some things differently, but I think the barn owl was a pretty good effort. This one is a copy from one of the posters for Memoirs of a Geisha. I was a really big fan of the book and the movie. I've been fascinated with geisha ever since, and this is also the first time that I attempted to do a human portrait. This is a pet portrait I did a couple years ago too, a commission. His name was Rolly. I enjoy painting pet portraits, and I'm available for commissions. So shameless plug in my own channel. You can reach me on Instagram or through my email if you want to commission work. So a year ago, a YouTuber I follow called Jane Font at Painting with Jane did an art challenge for the release of the movie Loving Vincent. If you haven't seen it, it's a really beautiful film, and especially if you're an artist, you should see it. This is my version of The Starry Night. This one is called Tax Code. My mom's fiance is an accountant, and he bought this painting from me, and he named it Tax Code because he says it reminds him of tax code. This was the first time that I experimented with acrylic pouring. I had a lot of fun with it. However, you use a lot of paint on this, so I haven't done it in a while. This one is the second one where I mixed my colors. The first time I actually mixed my own colors was when I painted The Starry Night. I had so much fun doing it. And it's one of those things that has stuck with me, you know, like whenever you do something differently in your art and it really works for you, you kind of incorporate it into your style. I saw this photo on Pixabay and I fell in love with it, so I decided to paint it. I will not reveal the name of this piece, but we're going to call her Magenta. She's currently hanging in my music studio. So around Christmas time, my mom asked me, she had a photo that she found that she really loved, and she wanted me to paint it, and then she asked me if I could do it. So this was the result. We named her Snow Queen. I did a grayscale underpainting, and then I glazed quinacridone and anthraquinone over it. This one, I experimented in kind of like a pop art style. I'm really proud of this one. This is one of the biggest ones I've ever done. I think it's like 36 by something. I don't remember. It's big. And it's currently looking for an owner, so if you're interested in it, hit me up. This one is a 30 by 40 called Easy Like Sunday Morning, and it's kind of self-explanatory. You can really see how much my sponging technique has improved from the roses in a vase that we talked about earlier. This one, I'm really happy with the subject. I'm not really happy with how I placed it on the canvas. I think I want to redo this one and place the subject a little more in the middle. I think it'll work better. Other than that, I'm happy with it. I took my time on the angel, and I really took my time on the rose, and I'm happy. And that's the last of the pieces that I did before starting my YouTube channel. This is the first one that I uploaded about 6 weeks ago, maybe more. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback out of this one. I'm really proud of it, and it's worth mentioning here. So the bluebird was the first one in my series of birds. Then I had this hummingbird. In this video, I run into problems and I talk about how to solve them. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. I make a lot of boo-boos and then I fix them. I end up solving all the problems. This one was a lot of fun, and it's gotten a huge reaction. And the funny thing is that this was completely unplanned. I came up, like, it's not even, I can't even say that I came up with the idea. It's more like the idea just came into my head out of nowhere. I'll definitely do a lot more cubist paintings in the future. This is our family dog. She passed away about 2 years ago. And I did a portrait for my mom, but I didn't have one for myself. So I was scrolling through my phone and I found this photo and I was like, okay, perfect. This is the one for me. And then the last one that I did last week was this cardinal in the style of Van Gogh. I want to thank Hope, Gráinne, and my mom for participating in the challenge. And I want to invite all of you to stay tuned because I will be posting my next challenge really soon. Have you subscribed to my channel yet? I have new art videos every Thursday. Thank you so much for watching. My name is David Cavallin, and I'll see you guys next time.